Hello and welcome. Today we will be talking about stitch markers and counting stitches. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with a chain of about 10, and we're just gonna play along with learning these things. So I believe that's 10, but let me just double check. And make sure that that is 10. So we have to count our V's, okay? My last stitch was pretty tight, so I'm gonna redo that one. Now we have to count our V's. We're gonna take a look at the V's that we have here in this. Okay, so here we are, we're looking at the braided looking side. We turn it over. That's the bump side. I know this yarn is a little bit harder to see, but I want you to be able to see it on more difficult yarn anyway. So you want to see this right here is the first V. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I only did 9. Okay, so it's very important to count, right? So there's my 10th one. And that is how you would count those stitches. Now we're going to go ahead up and do a single crochet across. And I want there to be 10, so I'm going to do one more, 11. So in the second chain from the hook, I'm just going to do a single crochet. And I'm going to do, I'm going to ultimately do them all the way across, but I want to use my stitch marker to make sure I don't lose that first stitch. So after I do my first stitch, I'm going to look at it and go into the V of that stitch. So you see that V right there? We're going to go into the V of that stitch and put our stitch marker. And then we're going to continue down the row, and in my case, doing 10 single crochets. And when I get to the other end, I am going to make sure that I have a stitch marker so I know where this row ends. So I went into my last stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to do my first stitch. There's my first stitch. That's done. So I'm going to find that V of my first stitch, which is right here, and put my stitch marker in so that I can keep track of that stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to go back down. Now if you're not counting as you go, which is fine, some people don't want to do that, and if you're doing like an excessive amount of stitches like for a blanket, you're most likely going to lose track of counting because life happens around us and it's hard to keep track of, 157, 210, stitches or whatever. So I want to show you again how to count these stitches to make sure that you are on track. And again, I know this is a darker yarn. It's a little bit harder to see, but we're not always going to use light yarn, right? So you can see the top. I'm looking at the top. You can see more V's, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then my mark. Oh, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I not do 10 the first time? Maybe I should take that out and check. What do you think? Let's take it out and check. Maybe I only did 9. Maybe I'm a hot mess in a dress. So we'll count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So somewhere I missed a stitch. So I'm going to have to go back out here. Oh, that's where I missed it, right there. I betcha. So let's go right here. That's where I missed a stitch. And we're going to do this all over again. Now if I want to count them before I put my stitch marker in, I most definitely can. And for all intents and purposes, I will right now. So let's count them, okay? We're looking at the top so we can see the V's, right? And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Much better. And then we are going to chain 1 and turn, do our first stitch, and place the stitch marker in the V of that first stitch. And every time you go up a row, just place your stitch marker into the first stitch. And if you keep one on each end, then you will not lose your last stitch, because sometimes they become tricky to find, especially when you're doing single crochets and when you're working in the round, which we will have another time. Actually, I think that is next week. So there's that. I got to the end where the stitch marker is, and I'll double check my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we have it. And just keep going, placing the stitch marker in your first stitch.